This is the thebisfor and I'm your host, Bria Villa. Hi, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Welcome to the thebisfor. I'm your host, Bria Villa, and I am so excited to have you. I'm so excited to start this podcast. This may come as a surprise to those of you who know me, or maybe not a surprise at all. I have been thinking about doing this for a long time. Honestly, years. This has lived in the back of my mind of like, should I start a podcast? Would people listen to me? Do I have things that are actually valuable to share with the world? Are my experiences good enough? And I've decided that whether they are or aren't, it's worth sharing. I also feel like I've had really supportive people who have planted this seed in my mind for some time now of, oh, you should start a podcast, or you would be so good at it, or whatever the case is. And at first I was like, okay. But now it took one person who really, really planted the seed, someone who's actually very successful at podcasting, say that I should start this. And I feel like I also just got like a download from God, and just the way that I was thinking about it, it all just came together perfectly. And I felt like this was something I needed to do. So if you are listening, I am so excited that you are here. Thank you for tuning in. Also, if you are watching, if you are on YouTube, thanks for showing up. And if you are listening on audio, you can go to YouTube and watch this live there. It's the thebisfor, so make sure that you check it out, subscribe, throw your girl a like. It would be so kind of you. But I know that you're probably wondering, like, girl, what is the B for? Get to it, and I'm gonna get there. Okay, just give me a second. I'm going to cover the title. I'm going to cover a little bit about me, like why you should be even listening to me. Who the hell am I? What I want you to get out of it and where I want this to go. So first and foremost, the B is for whatever you want it to be. Growing up, one of my favorite nicknames that I've gotten is B. Like literally just B. My name's Bria Villa. I say Bria Villa for short. It's cute. It rhymes. We gonna go with it. But a lot of my closest friends have called me B growing up. I have a few other cute nicknames, but B is my favorite. And when I was thinking about the name of this podcast, I was like, what feels like me? But also what can feel relatable to the people listening. And so I'm going to start every podcast with what the B is for. And so many of my favorite words happen to start with B. So today, the B is for beginning. And I am so excited to begin this journey with y'all, go on this journey myself, learn, grow, and do it actually live, like with people listening. I feel like something that's so important to me and just the type of person that I am is I know that there's no one unique human experience. Every single person can have some sort of through line of relatability in things that we've experienced. Our scenarios and the actual circumstances that we've lived may not be the exact same, but the lessons that we've learned from them, the feelings that we've had, the way that we viewed ourselves, the way we view the world, like everything that we've gained from those experiences is oftentimes shared. I don't know about y'all, but I scroll on TikTok for like an hour and I realize that I have not had a single unique experience. Like we have shared so much together. And so I feel like I'm actually going through my own healing journey, growth journey, and I want to actually go through that with others. I feel like humans are just wired for connection. And so I wanted to actually go through this whole process, learn myself, be vulnerable, be transparent, and share it with others, because there's very likely the chance that somebody listening to this can relate. And I want to hear about that too. So it's not just me talking at you. I want to actually learn from y'all too. And so to give you a little bit of backstory on me, and we'll talk more about what I hope to give you through this podcast, is me personally. I am 27. I will be 28 this year. I'm a 96 baby. I am Latina woman. For those of you listening, I'm literally covered in tattoos and I work in the corporate space. So right now, my career outside of, this entrepreneurship lifestyle that I'm about to take on while doing this is I feel like I'm usually one of the only, or I definitely stand out. And so I feel like for me, I've always been one of the few, one of the only in the environments that I've been in. And I feel like there's probably a lot of y'all that can relate. And when I was actually getting into the podcast world, I listened to so many podcasts. I listened to podcasts all the time. Okay. I just did not always see someone who either looked like me or had a cultural background like mine, or just like felt fully relatable. There's a lot of people that I could relate to in unique ways, but not necessarily representative of me. And so I figured, okay, well, if I'm not seeing that or feeling that, I might as well do it. And then hopefully there's people who can relate to me. So again, background, Latin, woman, millennial, entrepreneur, businesswoman. I actually was born in Miami, Florida, lived there all the way up through elementary school. I moved to Southern California, Orange County, and then lived in LA for a little bit for the rest of my childhood, early adulthood. I lived in Phoenix, Arizona for a second. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia now, and I am potentially going somewhere else. Stay tuned on this journey. But I feel like I've gotten a lot of life experience because of just the different cultures that I've lived in and immersed myself in, going from Miami to Orange County. Okay, big culture shock for me. And just seeing and learning about so many different people, cultures, mindsets, perspectives, cuisines. Like, my eyes have just been open to so much, not only in the places that I've lived, but the places that I've traveled to. But then also in my career experience. So I started working when I was 16 at a car dealership, so automotive industry. Then I actually went into fashion because I thought that I wanted to work in fashion, and interned at Vera Wang for some time. Love that, but there's a lot of lessons that I learned there and realized that the fashion industry is actually not something I wanted to be in. We'll have a whole episode about that. Don't worry, because I learned a lot. And then now I'm actually in corporate sales. So I transitioned into corporate sales because I knew that there was such an opportunity for growth to make a lot of money, which I wanted to do. And just like grow quickly in your career. So I got into corporate sales, not necessarily knowing what the future was going to hold for me there, but found a ton of success early on. And now I'm actually in consulting. And so I have done public speaking. I've spoken in front of crowds of 4,000 people. I've sat on panels and had dialogues with really powerful, influential people in the business world, in government sectors, you name it. Some of the people that I've rubbed elbows with and actually strategized with and helped give direction on and built business strategies with are C-level executives in Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 10 companies. So I've gained a lot of experience really, really early on in my career and for my age. And I feel like there's a lot of things that I've learned in navigating those environments from a business perspective, from a personal perspective, that is really valuable. And I want to be able to share that. But also, I'm still on that journey and still learning from that. And so I want to continue to go on that journey with y'all. And so one thing that I cannot promise is perfection. That's actually something that I'm working on. Is I am a total perfectionist. Like, it is bad. Like, my therapist was like, girl, Okay, you are a perfectionist to the point where it is toxic. You need to get it together. This is not healthy. And I was like, okay, read me to filth. I'm sorry. I need to work on this. So perfectionism is something I'm working on. And I feel like this creative outlet is going to help me, force me to work on it. So therapist, thank you and you're welcome. I'm working on it. But also things like imposter syndrome. So I literally just said at the beginning of this that I didn't know if I should do this. I didn't know if this is something I should start. It's oversaturated. So many people have podcasts, all the things. And that's just doubt that I've placed on myself. And so I want to go through learning about that with y'all because so many of us experience imposter syndrome, perfectionism, overthinking. My God, I'm an overthinker, like bad. Like I'll literally sit up at night and stay up thinking about a situation that happened 12 years ago on a Thursday afternoon that I know that the person that I had the interaction with does not remember because they don't care, but I do. And I think about it. So these are all things that I want to like work on live with y'all, but also feel like there's so many people who experience the same things, like I said, and I just want you to be able to navigate that with me too, and see yourself in me, if that's possible. So I really hope that what you get from this podcast is a conversation. I want you to feel like you're having coffee with me or having wine with me or smoking a blunt with me, whatever your poison is, pick it. But I want you to just feel like you are having a dialogue with a friend, someone who cares about you, and someone who understands you and can connect to you. And so I hope that's what you gain out of this. I want you to feel like I'm your friend because I am. I'm your friend. I'm everyone's friend. I love friends. I also just feel like I'm someone who like loves love and loves people. And so I just care so much about humans, and I feel like we're, like I said, wired for connection. And so I just want this to be something where you feel like you can connect. So that being said, there's going to be so many things that we talk about in this podcast. There's going to be moments that are really, really insightful because I'm a very deep-minded person and I think about things very deeply sometimes. And so we'll have like those real raw conversations, but also like I'm goofy. So we might have some conversations that are so out there, and that is fine. But like I said, I can't promise perfection, but I can promise progress. And I want that to just be like the theme of a lot of this is like we're learning together. This is a journey for both of us. So I am so excited because we're going to be talking about things like I said, imposter syndrome, growth mindset, navigating your career, what it's like to be a woman, your cultural experience, spirituality, all the things, relationships, love, friendships, everything. Okay? All the things, loss. Your girl has been through a lot of that. And so I just feel excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited to go on this journey with y'all and talk about all the things. I am going to open a queue on my website, but you also can just DM me. If you want to share like an experience you've had, a thought that you're ruminating on, a scenario that you're in, and I want to be able to actually like talk about those things and interact with y'all and not feel like this is just me talking to you. I want to feel like we're conversing amongst one another. So yeah, like let me know things that you're going through, things that you're thinking about, things that you want to hear about, because I want to know. It's important to me. This is for you. This is for us. So follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is thebisforpodcast. And then it's the same on YouTube. So like I said, subscribe, like, do a little something there. And then all listening platforms. So Apple Music, Spotify, all the things. Y'all know where to find podcasts. It's going to be on there. But I am so excited to go on this journey with y'all because this is really important to me, and I have no idea where this is going to go, where it's going to take me, but I'm just excited for the future. And like I said, today, the B is for beginning. And so I'm so excited to begin this journey with y'all. See y'all next week. Love y'all. Bye.